I think, just as you rightly said, Mr. Chairman, the conversation, the questions are leaning in a certain direction, and we don't intend to evade any. So the issue of the capital budget, performance of it, which we agree still has time to run. There was a time, for those who are interested in sports, that Senator Abiru's team was 2-0 up, and it looked all was lost. But the others' team caught up. So with this, the aim is to catch up by June 2025 with the capital expenditure planned and appropriated initially in 2024. There is hope, there is commitment. And I'll explain where the funding is expected to come from, because it is not just an empty hope. But if you permit me, it takes going back down memory lane. In May 2023, before His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over, the country was fiscally, economically, going fast downhill. Some people would use the word finished, and I'll tell you why. Oil revenue, the mainstay, oil production was at 1.2 million barrels and going down. Insecurity stopped the land. Agricultural production was down. How was the government getting by, including maybe paying capital releases? It was living a false existence. When a payment needed to be made by the government, they simply printed the money. Central Bank simply credited the government's account. Of course, that was and is any day the road to total crisis. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he saved the economy, he saved the society. How did he save the economy? In his time, every penny spent has been earned or has been procured in the financial markets on willing buyer, willing seller terms. Because they believed in his macroeconomic plan, the multilateral institutions, the repositories of the cheapest money internationally, 40 years to pay back, 10 years moratorium, 1% interest. We approached them, they looked at our plan, and they believed in it, and they provided funding. Then the bilateral institutions, a bit more expensive, provided funding. Then Nigerians, through issue of a domestic issuance of dollar bonds, they too believed in a macroeconomic policy. They brought funds from abroad, they too supported. And finally, we had a resounding outing at the Eurobond market. So Nigeria, since May 2020, has been paying its way. Central Bank does not allow debit above the legal limit. It doesn't allow debiting of government's account in order to make payments. And so, all payments have been made in the proper manner, which is fiscally sustainable, since May 29, 2023. In addition, and in order to have a stable macroeconomic environment, the wasteful expenditure up to 5% of GDP. If you take GDP at roughly 400 billion, then that 5% is $20 billion was going on two subsidies. As we know, the petroleum subsidy and the foreign exchange. So that was $20 billion going to a few people that was retrieved to the Nigerian purse. But let us be frank with ourselves. It was not done on one day. The explanation, Mr. Chairman, of where the money will come from now is that that saving was not done on one day. It took time. But by October 2, 2024, you had market pricing of foreign exchange, market pricing of petroleum products, and the money has started flowing. That's where it's coming from. NNPC today is at 1.8 million barrels per day. That's where the funding will come from. The price is...
Sorry, Honorable Minister, as at October...
Yes.
As at October 2024, there was stabilization.
Yes.
Can you also add, between October and today, was there any increase in the CRF? And if there was, how did it go? Is it going to the federal government, or it's been also shared among the states? Because what you are trying to say is that there is more money into the economy. So Nigerians need to know where that money is.
We have had, let's say, 3 months in which we have had higher flows, and everybody saw it. Last month, the Federation account shared 1.7 trillion naira. The governor of Central Bank was alarmed because one of the things that is inflationary is too much money chasing too few goods. And that is why, Mr. Chairman, I was just trying. And so let me go back to say, because it's important that what we say resonates. I said the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu changed the Nigerian society. I have to explain. Before the advent of President Tinubu, for 40 years or more, when I started my career, what you did was you attacked the distortions that were in the Nigerian economy. You either tried to get an allocation of foreign exchange. It's important, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Minister, I asked you a very direct question.
But I've answered it.
And that question is that after October, there is more revenue.
Yes.
And that revenue is not just going to one tier of government.
Well, I've explained it, sir. Okay. I said, for example, 1.7 trillion came in and was shared. Not came in. There were still savings. It came in. That money comes into the Federation account. And we saw the spike up such that there were even inflationary fears. So the point to be made there is that having worked so determinedly to ensure that the revenue that belongs to the Federation comes in to the Federation and is not dissipated elsewhere, certainly we'll make sure that those funds that are due are not now dissipated or held by NNPC or anybody else. I think that's the answer to that. But Mr. Chairman, sir, let me finish. The society is no longer one where you can seek rent. It is no longer one where you can look for an allocation of foreign exchange from Central Bank or anywhere else that will be below market, that you will sell and double your money. The society is no longer one where you get to NNPC, get a piece of paper and sell it for $250,000 because that's the arbitrage that was there. That's the change in the society. But based on that, and I think I've said the capital expenditure for next year, where will it come from? Increased, and I'll just run through it. Increased oil production at elevated high prices that we have now. Non-oil revenue, particularly from government-owned enterprises. Higher taxes from tax revenue, because companies have started to invest again now. They have a stable environment. And also, we are crowding in international direct investment, international private-public partnerships for infrastructure in particular. And on our own, we have mobilized Nigerian savings to put in place what should be a housing construction boom, because for the first time, perhaps in this economy, but for a long time, you will have low interest mortgage finance where people can borrow at low interest rates for long periods and purchase houses. That will ignite a construction, I would like to say boom, but definitely construction activity will increase. And we all know the multiplier effect. So in a nutshell, the optimism is based on the fundamentals that we see opening up in the Nigerian economy. And once again, inflation is a key target to bring it down to affordable levels and reasonable levels. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I believe you have go down. Definitely the role is not just at the center, but also the subnationals have to play major roles so that we can now bring down this inflation. I believe this is what my distinguished colleagues wanted to. Now we will have two more questions. Three. No, it's allowed. I chair this committee. So allow me to do it the way I want it. My vice chairman will now talk. Karimi, you have spoken, but I will give you another second chance. Senator Ochocho, you have spoken, right? Okay, you will speak. Then Wadada will make his comment. Don't worry, I'm in control. Don't worry.
Well, thank you very much, the chairman, our very distinguished colleagues, our very highly respected Minister of Finance and the Coordinator of the Economy, these officers and other team. You see, we want to appreciate you for giving a lot of insightful explanation to our concern. And I think you have to know why people are talking like this. You are in charge of the economy of Nigeria. People are asking a lot of questions. And we see a good opportunity today, since you are here with this powerful team, to pour them out to you, so that they listen to you and know where Nigeria is going. But out of the question people have asked, I want to emphasize one. Yes, we thank God that since October, more money are coming in, and we are seeing it in the distributables that goes to state and local government and federal. But there's still one important question that is yet to be answered. People have asked, we have asked this question several times. And I'm happy that the Accountant General is here. And that is the mode of payment that is being centralized for all the ministries and MDAs in the country to come to one office for payment. It put too much pressure. And when there are too much pressure in the system, you have corruption. You are dealing with human beings. All the agencies will upload the payment to one office, and that office will have to pay everybody. And their own hour is not more than 24, it's not more than the normal hour. You people are restless. There will be corner. And the people who cannot do that will start blaming us. Is there no way of reducing this pressure? I want to give an example. Later, sometimes last year, the FCT minister complained that things are not working because of the TSA for the FCT. And the FCT was removed from the TSA. They were having their own free movement, and things started moving faster than it was before. There is no way, even if we have times 10 of the money we have now, everything in one place, it is practically difficult for one office in the General office to start paying all the MDAs, and we expect it to move fast. Now, sir, 2023 budget, most of the projects have been done. Some of them are yet to be paid. 2024 has been extended to June. We are now going to start 2025, making 3 budgets together. Everything we uploaded to Account General's office for payment. If we need to adjust this payment, don't let us feel shy. Whatever will reduce the tension on any office should be done for the progress of the country and then the betterment for the budget. Second, sir, sometime last year, during the MTF, we talk about how to redeem some of the promissory notes that we have for some programs and some outstandings to reduce the burden of this on the debt. I don't know how far we have gone on that, because the amount we are spending on this loan is what is burdening the people every time. We want to know so that when they ask us questions, we know the answer we're still going to give them. And finally, people have said it, I just want to emphasize. The issue of envelope system, it doesn't take us as a serious country. I think budget in some other climate, we are very economy that are not even bigger than us in Africa, if not to go far. I think budget are premised on needs, on our own priorities, not spreading. Somebody who needs 10 billion, you give him an envelope of 100 million. What I think there is to go and furnish that one without anything to come out of it. I think we should prioritize our need and let that money be spent on our higher priority so that everybody will see the effect of that expenditure instead of spreading them and nothing come out of it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think let me moderate this hearing. If your question has to do with the budget in terms of release or anything, I think we have discussed that at length. The minister has spoken about that. So if it is leaning towards there, I think everything that needs to be asked has been asked. So let's talk about other things. If it's other things, then I will give the floor. Okay, let's now agree. Maybe we take 2 from this side and 2 from this side, and we close this session.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Distinguished Chair. Honorable Prime Minister.
Honorable Minister. No, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister.
Maybe, I don't want to say it, maybe PDP has a Prime Minister, but we don't have a Prime Minister.
Okay, coordinating minister. I'm copying from the DG campaign and APC member.
No, he has no right. He's a minority. He can't say that.
Yes, I want to join my colleagues in commending your consistent effort in appearing before all the committees of the Senate that you have been invited. I say this on a very serious note because some of your ministers, when they are invited, they don't respond, they don't come, they don't even send people to say this is why they're not coming. And you, who is coordinating, anytime you hear an invitation, no matter the level of the committee you appear, I appreciate that, and may God continue to guide you. My question is, in the effort of the present administration under the leadership of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu to drive the economy and a renewed agenda for the country, there is need and concerted efforts to diversify the economy. But in the budgetary provisions, there are some critical ministries, like solid minerals, arts and culture, and and many more that are capable of supplementing or complementing what the oil sector is doing. For example, art and culture. As it is seen, there are many countries today that do not have oil, but are existing and running their economies successfully through tourism. In our country here, the arts and culture are capable of contributing billions, or if not trillions of naira to our economy on a yearly basis. In one of our galleries visited recently, art pieces, just about 3, were valued at 1-point-something billion. The 3 each costing about $400 million. Some are valued in millions or billions in euro. Now, but if you come to look at their budget, you will find that it's so paltry. And even they don't even have offices, they don't even have places to keep these artifacts. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if that is encouraging enough for them to generate revenue. If you look at solid minerals, I was just going through the the internet, and I saw that Saudi Arabia, despite their revenue from oil, have discovered lithium, and they are projecting that they will earn 2-point-something trillion from lithium. This is because they have invested money in that area to get data to be able to project that much. Here,
So round up.
not much is being given to solid minerals to
Round up.
get enough data to be able to market to the world. I don't know why this is so.
Round up, distinguished.
Thank you very much. So I will appreciate
Is,
if
Ochocho.
the coordinating minister will look at this area in empowering some of these ministries that are looked as being small, because they spend all their budgetary provisions in paying salaries, while they can earn more money than what oil earns. Thank you very much.
Thank you, most distinguished. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister, you did mention some minutes ago that given the more positive perception of Nigeria, okay, in the international market, that you were able to raise about a substantial amount of money, okay, for a 40-year tenure, 10 years moratorium, and at 1%. Now, looking at your debt profile, given this renewed perception about Nigeria, is there a way you can refinance some of the debts you inherited? Okay? Refinance, yes. You can refinance some of the debts you inherited